at that. No tags, brand new. I think she looks pretty good, but she's gonna get new wheels, new tires, 6-inch lift, I believe. This one has 10 miles. You're not playing with P? Wheels, big old 37s. All right, y'all. Welcome back, guys. Hope you guys are having a blessed day. I know I am. You know, yesterday's gone, tomorrow's not promised, so you got to make today the best day. Now, let's get right into it. First things first, get these center caps off of here. Get these wheels off of here, and we're gonna go ahead and mark each wheel where it came off so we know where the tire sensors go when we swap them over to the new wheels and tires. Just to catch you guys up a little bit, because this is an old video, I will no longer be working in the shops. I will be going on my own, on the road, servicing mobilely. Can't do the rear.
But back to this. Like I said right there, usually I like to start up at the back because it's a whole lot easier than the front. Quicker, knock it out. That's what I like to do. But we're missing the nuts for the U-bolts, so we just go ahead and start on the front. Here, just loosening up the torsion keys to get the torsion bars out. Got to use a special tool. Here, I'm marking the torsion keys and the torsion bars with the lower control arms because me, personally, I've been taught to put everything back exactly how it came off, and that's what I like to do. Where it has been working great for me ever since. Now, these are new, so the torsion bars are nice and free from the torsion keys, just a little persuasion. Got to drop down the cross member for the torsion keys, because this zone lift kit provides drop down brackets for the cross member. Here we're just working on the sway bar, basically disconnecting all suspension components so we can get ready to drop this diff also. We're going to be swapping knuckles, upper control arms, doing a lot of work, but here we're doing disconnecting all the ABS sensors, the brake hoses, calipers. This one has a brake pad wear sensor, so we get all that disconnected, hang it up. This is a heavy caliper, so I wouldn't recommend hanging it on the hose. You can with other ones, but this is a pretty heavy caliper, I'm not gonna lie. Get the screw off of the rotor, get the rotor off, take the cap off for the axle nut, like a dust cap basically, and get the nut off for the axle. From here we're disconnecting the upper control arm, or the upper ball joint, the lower ball joint, and getting that off. There's special tools for it, but a hammer works great. Never had any issues with it. Just don't break the ABS sensor. Actually, I have not done that, surprisingly. And then once you get the axle nut off, the upper ball joint, the lower ball joint, everything, brake, caliper, rotor, all the sensors disconnected, well, then you can just pop the knuckle off with the wheel bearing. Working on the shock now, taking off that lower shock bolt. The driver's side shock is a pain because there's like a plastic bracket for the wiring harness, and it's in the way. You can't just really pop it off, so I just use wrenches. Makes quick work, a little tedious, but most likely easier than taking off that bracket. Actually, I never tried, but what are we doing there? Oh, the axle, getting the axle off of the differential. We are loosening up the lower control arms to get those off of there because we're actually doing a drop down bracket for drop down cross members. Basically, we're going to be cutting into the frame on this brand new 2024. No big deal. I'm an expert. I've done this so many times. Very comfortable with cutting frames. Disconnecting the four-wheel drive actuator on the diff so we can drop this diff. And then here I'm marking the frame. This is a digital caliper Use a tape measure. I just use whatever's easier or whatever is quicker, closer to me. These frames from Chevy, they actually come with this special rust preventative coating already on there. Kind of annoying sometimes, but makes it easy to mark things, I guess. And I just went ahead and scribed into it and marked where I need to mark. Got my little cutoff wheel on my extended die grinder. Those 3M cutoff wheels from O'Reilly's, man, those things are a beast. I ain't gonna lie. Even though they're that fiber or whatever that can break off on you, obviously safety first, but they were great. And here we're just installing the drop down brackets. Pretty simple, getting those ready and then dropping that diff down. Obviously, if you're doing this lift kit, there's instructions. Read the instructions. I don't care if you've been doing this 50 million years. Read the instructions. What I do sometimes is just skim over everything, make sure there's nothing new or something different. So instructions are very important. Here we're tightening up everything. And this is it, but just another bracket for the differential. It's gonna actually go onto the cross member, the rear cross member. That way that diff is nice and secure. And then basically everything just goes back in reverse order. There is a extension for the vent hose, so don't forget that. You don't want dirt and debris, water going into the differential. You'll have a bad day, I promise. Putting the skid plates on, lining up everything before we tighten up the cross members. I want to make sure you don't tighten up the cross members before you put the lower control arms in and everything else. You want to put everything on, then tighten up everything. That way everything goes on there nice and smooth and you're not fighting anything. Put the CV axles back on. X pattern, guys, everything X pattern if possible.
Oh my God.
First try?
Good try, Chef.
You did that?
No, I never touched it.
Oh.
I'm glad. Check. I'm glad I'm doing this. Everything has a reason.
Oh, watch this. Let's see what this one does. Watch.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap is right.
Here we're taking the upper control arm off. I'm not sure if you can get a gun in there. I don't remember if I tried, but some ratcheting wrenches makes quick work. Nice brand new aluminum upper control arms. I think they're aluminum. I don't remember, honestly. Honestly, this video was done a while, last year sometime. As y'all saw, it only had 10 miles when I worked on it. Here we're installing the new knuckles, the extended knuckles. You gotta have those. Come in the kit, of course. And here we're just prying up on the knuckle against the ball joint so we can get it this nut tightened up. Cotter pin set for the upper ball joint. Here we have to cut the backing plate because of the new knuckle. If you don't cut it, the caliper won't go on. Here we're installing the wheel bearing and backing plate onto the knuckle. And don't forget that little O-ring that you just saw. Make sure that goes back on. Here we're torquing everything. You already know how we do. Click, click, click. If you're a professional, I've done so many of these, you know how to feel out your gun. So they're torqued, promise you. And they're not over torqued. Well, maybe a little bit. Replace the brake line. The kit came with these metal brake lines, brake hoses. Getting the caliper on there. Of course, we already have the rotor on there. Oh, and here's a nice trick that I have for installing these bushings. You just put some lube on either end and start it. Get a dead blow and just hit them in. Never had no issues. Dust cap back on. Obviously the nut for the axle's tight. Extended sway bar links. This kit was actually really easy to install. Straightforward. Here, these are the drop down brackets for the cross member for the keys, torsion keys. A little persuasion. I start all the bolts by hand, nuts by hand. Not always, but most of the time. Came with these nice little decals, aluminum decals with rivets. Here we are installing the keys back in. And something I recommend is when you do that, if you're ever doing keys and you have to lower that height adjusting bolt for the torsion bars, if you have it in the air, the best thing to do is just go as far up as you can possible, because it's always easier to come down when the weight of the truck is on the suspension than it is to go up, lifting the whole truck up. So you put a lot of stress on that bolt.
On there, hold up the pinion of the rear diff. Take up the nuts off the U-bolts, lower the axle, put the blocks in, put the new U-bolts, put the new nuts, washers, torque that down, loosen this up here, loosen it up over there, and that's it. Let's get to it.
Yep, loosen up those lines first before you drop the axle, just like I did there. That way you don't overstretch any sensors or lines. Also, make sure you put that bungee over that pinion, or if you have a pull jack or something underneath that pinion, because if you loosen up these U-bolts, that pinion is gonna want to come down, and that thing is not light. Finishing off taking these U-bolts out of there so we can drop the axle enough to get these blocks in there. Basically get the blocks in there, get the new U-bolts in there, get the nuts on there with that U-bolt bracket thing that goes underneath that thing right there. I don't know what the heck that thing's called. I just work on cars, man. I just do what I do. But anyways, that thingy, get that thing on there, tighten up the nuts. when you do your final torques, make sure you do a X pattern also. Don't forget to remove your bungees, because I've actually done that before. Oh, check it out. There's the shock that I was talking about. Boom. Look at that. Easy. I've actually done that before. A customer was like, I smell burning rubber. It was the bungees that I left on the drive shaft. Oops. These are the wheels. I already showed you that before, but actually these are reverse mount, and our machine is old school, so we put these rags on the clamps, and thank goodness we really haven't had no issues with scratching wheels. Put the sensors in. Yeah, these are some heavy wheels and tires. What are these, some Nittos? Gotta use a cheetah to seat the bead, no big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and balance it. After you do a couple of these, by the time you get to the third and fourth one, you're pretty worn out. Not to mention 40s. Man, we've done 40s on these little machines. And 40s, whew, honestly, depending on the wheel and tire, I can't pick them up sometimes. Like, I consider myself strong, but not that strong. I'm just the mechanic, you know? Don't forget to take your stickers off. I actually had this lady one time come back, not on me, because she's like, I just had my tires put on, got a noise. The guy didn't take the stickers off.
All right, y'all, there it is. Wheels are done, wheels are on there, wheels are balanced. Unfortunately, this is the wheel that took the most weight, the left front. It is what it is.
Make sure you guys check over your work as a professional. Check over your work. If you're not checking over your work as a professional, are you even a professional? Like, make sure everything's tight, make sure everything's good to go, make sure everything clears, make sure nothing's taut.
This thing is absolutely enormous now. I like it. Oh man, this thing is absolutely gonna rub. Absolutely gonna rub. Oh, we're gonna have problems. All right, and it's all the way absolutely up. All right.
What I mean up is the torsion key bolts are all the way up, and we still have to come down ride quality. This is a 700 horsepower S10 that I was just showing you. Dart block, dart engine, naturally aspirated on race gas, 700 horse. Yeah, I'm just eyeballing the tie rod. We don't do alignments here because we don't have an alignment machine. But yes, I do know how to do alignments on a Hunter alignment machine, you know, the high-end one. We used to work at a shop that actually had that brand new state-of-the-art technology, and I learned on that. But we just don't have that here, so we just take it down to a local tire shop and get the alignments done. Here we're going, and since we dropped the truck on the ground, and now is the time that we want to tighten up everything, the cross members, lower control arms, the diff. Well, actually we already did the diff, so lower control arms, U-bolts, all that good stuff. Here we're putting on this little factory skid plate back on because it fit. If it doesn't fit, depending on the lift kit, then don't put it back on. Now this is definitely an important part. Definitely torque your wheels. If it's something you don't torque, whatever, but at least torque the wheels. You don't want those flying off on the highway on a customer. That would be a very bad day. Don't forget to grease the new upper ball joint because it came with the new upper control arm. Obviously, we put the cap on there.
That's right. So,
Now the question is it gonna hit? Let me turn.
Turn to your right. Yep.
Hit. I felt it.
You can't turn it until you cut it.
Yeah. All right, so we gotta cut it. We're gonna cut a brand new 2024 bumper right now. We'll be back with you. Shoot. Well, that thing is done. What you gonna do, Tom?
He wants you to.
Cut that? I'm not gonna lie, I fell in love with this truck. Maybe one day, you know? God's will, guys, God's will.
He said, obviously it's not an issue right now, but he has to put it
So as you guys can see right there, it's actually still hitting even after I cut it a little bit. So we have to cut it again. I had to cut it some more. I had to actually move, see where the hole used to be, maybe a little bit, right here. So I had to actually drill another hole, move the bolt over. But it looks good, you know. Looks real good. I had to cut this part over here. That looks decent. Same thing over here, but it's finally done. Finally done. So we can get this beast truck out of here. Oh, this thing's such a beast. I love this truck. Ooh, careful, boy. Careful there, big boy. Fuck this guy over here, you know what I'm saying? Next to the old Chevy. Oh, he came back from touched on us. Put this back here now, big boy. So, oh, we need to park this thing sideways here, boy. Park this thing here sideways, boy. Why dare you park that thing down sideways? Don't you know that we have to take pictures? It's like, Tom doesn't talk like that. Tom doesn't talk like that. But shoot, alignment paper is here. It's all good. I'm gonna miss this truck. Turn this crap off. So I don't think I showed y'all a full floor of this thing, did I? Brand new. Smell brand new too. Anyways. Yeah, try not to leave my germs. I love this brand new truck. I'll show y'all. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's the end of this video. You guys will not be see. This might be the last video here. Maybe not. Maybe one more. But then after that, you guys are gonna be seeing me more in my home garage and out on the road. I appreciate the support. If you guys like it, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment down below, and I hope you guys stay safe. God bless you guys. Take care. Stay tuned for the next one. Can't even tell it was in the cold. Looked like it came home. Alright. And that's it. See y'all later.